Hello and welcome back, and I'm excited because the challenge All-Stars Season 2 has finally dropped a trailer. I'm excited to be doing a shot-for-shot breakdown to see what we can expect, get a little taste before the premiere on November 11th. Now let's jump right into this trailer where we can see that there are two boats with the Paramount Plus original logo on there, and it kind of reminds me, seeing the competitors coming on boats, it reminds me of the beginning of Inferno when they had the road rules and the real world coming up on separate boats. I got this picture right here because I wanted to see some of the players in the background. It looks like Tyler Duckworth and Darrell are on the boat with Brad. There's Darrell with the hat and he's looking very sharp. And there's Janelle, who I think is on the other side of the boat with Brad and Darrell and Tyler. And then on the yacht, we have Nehemiah and Casey Cooper. So it looks like they have divided up the competitors coming on either a smaller sports boat and a yacht. I wonder how they divided them up, but I think this is them coming on to the challenge, coming to the challenge house. And here is the elimination grounds, which reminds me heavily of War of the Worlds elimination grounds, the proving grounds, as I should say, which maybe that's the theme that they're going for, the proving grounds, as we can see people coming into the elimination. Then we have a setup of where they're gonna have a daily challenge, and we have 3 different platforms. Maybe they're gonna be paired up in different teams, as we're gonna see a little bit. I have different theories throughout this whole trailer that I'm going to be getting into. We can see a ton of the competitors coming in to do this daily challenge. I think that possibly this is the first daily challenge of the season. We can see that Darrell, Nehemiah, I want to believe that is Melinda in the background. We have Steve all the way in the back. That's pretty much all I can make out in this portion. Here is the shot from the teaser, the 20-second teaser, where we have them dressed in different colored shirts. This is more like a dark teal, whereas we can see in the previous photo, everyone's wearing black jerseys. So now we have competitors wearing like dark teal, and we can see that Tech, John A, MJ, I think Darrell and Janelle are all wearing dark teal. Could they be paired up in teams? And we have TJ here, and he is talking pretty much throughout the beginning portion of this trailer, and he is saying, some of you have been waiting a long time for this, that chance to capture that elusive victory. To earn your second chance, you have to work harder, dig deeper. Welcome to the all-new second season of The Challenge All-Stars. What I want to point out is when he says, to earn your second chance, I'm wondering now, is there going to be a purge at the beginning of this challenge season, of this Challenge All-Stars Season 2? Because last season, there was 22 contestants that started out. This season, we're starting out with 24 contestants. Could we be doing a purge where they start off doing the first daily challenge? It could be something like a mini challenge final or something to that effect, where they're gonna have to do everything that they can to not come in last place, where the last man and woman to finish this first challenge could be purged, kind of like in Vendettas. All grit. We have an elimination here where it looks to be a tug of war with a ring attached to a chain. This looks to be Nehemiah because he has a ton of tattoos on his arm. He could be possibly seeing an elimination. Then I find this interesting here is that it looks like all the challengers are paired up with someone else of the opposite gender. I think this is Ayana, and it looks, maybe she is paired up with Tech. As you can see, the band around their arms are blue, so maybe they're gonna be paired up with each other. Maybe it could be a different type of season. Maybe it's gonna be sort of like Free Agents, where every challenge is different, every day is different, where they swap doing maybe team challenges, paired challenges, solo challenges. Maybe they start out with teams and then they break up, kind of like how this season of Spies, Lies, and Allies is, where they were paired up with each other, then they broke up into teams, and then maybe that's how they're doing it for All-Stars, and they wanted to see how it would do in Spies, Lies, and Allies. Then we have a challenge here where there's going to be partners working with each other, where we have a man working a rig on top of a truck, and then you have someone, their partner, being like levitating over, trying to capture flags from what looks to be cars and motorcycles, and this kind of gives me the effect of like Mad Max Fury Road a little bit. And when I pause this section right here and when I look at the helmet, it looks like this name starts with a J and possibly ends with an A. I think that this could be possibly John A. All Determination, another bike riding mission. We saw this happening in the finals last season where they were tethered together and people were flying over the handlebars because the rope was getting stuck in their wheels. I doubt that they're going to be showing us anything from the finals in this first trailer. If they are, I feel like the challenge is dense if they're doing that. I think that this could possibly be one of the first missions that they're doing on the challenge, and that's why it could be from the mini final. It could be a purge at the beginning of this challenge, and that's where they're getting most of this footage. This has to be one of the first eliminations of the season, as I feel like they wouldn't be giving us so much of the elimination. As we can hear a woman saying, "I want to make my kids proud, the fans proud. The only option is to win." I wonder if this is coming from a past champion. Maybe it's Kendall, maybe it's Jody. I don't know who this person is doing this challenge, as they are doing a great job blurring the name. I will say that the name on the helmets are much smaller, much tighter, and then they are effectively blurring them out just enough to where I can't make out every single name on the helmet, but it looks like they're possibly doing a tic-tac-toe with fireballs. Then we have what I think is either Jody or Leah cranking out in this daily mission. I think this could be Leah, and she's just cranking. Here's Tech again with the blue armband. So I wonder if this is going to be part of the mission that we just saw, where he is being partnered maybe up with Ayana, or if this is later down the line and they're still partnered up with each other in a duo, but Tech is jumping into a hole in the ground. Then it says All Stars. So all grit, all determination, all stars. And then we have Nehemiah doing the toast at the first night, where he's saying season 2 will be the best challenge that they ever had. And everyone is putting up their glasses, putting up their beers, putting up their drinks, and having a grand old time before everything starts off and kicks off with the backstabbing, with the nastiness, with trying to win $500,000 by any means possible. Thursday, November 11th is when this challenge season is going to premiere. We have Queen John A smiling, and we have a woman here all wet. I want to say that maybe this is Kendall. And then here we are seeing a mission where partners are happening and they have to hold on to a rope. We have Jody and Brad on the white team. We have what looks to be John A and MJ on the blue team, the dark blue team. Then we have, I think, Nehemiah and maybe Melinda. Maybe that could be Real World Austin partnership right there. Again, maybe they're just doing partners for that one part of the challenge. Maybe it's just that mission, or they start off in pairs in the challenge All-Stars. Then we have a woman trying to circumnavigate from one boat to another. I can't tell who this person is. It looks to be a smaller female. Here's the GoPro footage of someone who is doing this challenge. Maybe it is the person who we just saw trying to circumnavigate over that bridge and they fall off. Then we have Derek making big noises in his confessional and then possibly saying we're back. And here we have someone swimming. I think that this is the challenge that we were just seeing, where you have to like make your way from one boat to the other. If you fall out, then you have to swim to your teammate. 24 All-Stars are back. We have someone saying the competition is gonna get nasty, as we see this daily challenge where we have not one truck, not two trucks, but 3 trucks going side by side. It looks like they're gonna have to jump from truck to truck, trying to get a puzzle pieces to their puzzle board on the 3rd truck. This sort of reminds me of the speed dating daily challenge from Battle of the X's 2, where they had the balls and they had to jump from truck to truck and then bring the balls back. We're going to see this one be featured quite a bit. You can see that there is a ladder, a rope ladder on both sides. You can see that there are 2 puzzle boards, and then there's a puzzle box on the one end. It seems like they're going to have to go as fast as possible to grab their puzzle pieces and then put the puzzle together. Maybe it's something sort of like the Fast and Furious challenge from Total Madness as well. Then we have For a Second Chance. So 24 All-Stars are back for a second chance. As we can see, Darrell and it looks like Darrell and Janelle are paired up with each other on the red team, and we have Darrell here talking about how last season was the first time that I have ever lost a final. I am back for redemption. We can see here that Laterian is being taken off in an ambulance. He doesn't have a shirt, so I think that this could possibly be one of those swimming challenges, and maybe it's like the one that happened last season where everybody was really hurting. This could be that same thing. Maybe Laterian just gets over his head in one of the swimming daily challenges. Here's Darrell looking fly, saying that he's here for redemption. And then we have a challenge where players are having to run up a set of stairs, pick a puzzle piece with numbers on it, and then jump into the water while trying to grab them. I think that this is going to be a very interesting challenge. As you can see from the puzzle piece that Nehemiah is jumping, the one next to him, it looks as though that they are using this Longhorn logo everywhere this season. There are 16 players here rooting on, as we can see that some of them are wearing dark teal and some of them are wearing black. Maybe now that they're playing in teams, possibly. I don't know, but they're all excited. Not to say that there's only 16 teammates here, because there are some people playing somewhere else doing their best, and I think that possibly that this could be within the 20s. This is going to be an early daily mission, I believe, and that's why they're showing how many players are here. Derek is just shocked about what's happening. As we can see, MJ is behind him. Then we have Nehemiah on the side here. Nehemiah is in the confessional saying, something always comes around to bite you in the ass, which means that possibly that could be him going into an elimination. As we can see, here's the elimination place. As again, it's giving me so much War of the World vibes with the two-story, with the sand, with the kind of the color scheme with the light blue here. And there's the Longhorn symbol yet again. And we can see some of the competitors. I want to believe that this is possibly Jody on the left-hand side, then Tyler Duckworth, then Casey Cooper, Gahuta, Brad, Katie, Darrell right in the middle, then maybe Tina, possibly. Then we have what I believe is Nehemiah, and I can't tell who that person is on the far right-hand side, but there's also more people. When you let this frame play out just a little bit longer, there are more people coming in. So I think that this is going to be one of the first eliminations that we're going to see, and that's why they're showing us enough of players coming into this elimination. And then we see Tech and Ayana in the elimination together. That's why I believe that they're paired up with each other and possibly running in pairs. Maybe they don't do so well in the daily mission that we saw them running together in with the blue wristbands and the blue armbands, and that's why they're going into the elimination. Maybe they were sent into the elimination, maybe they're the house vote, or possibly, here's another theory, what if the Challenge All-Stars Season 2 is doing the whole, if you come last in a challenge, you're going to be sent into an elimination? That's something interesting. Here, what looks to be Melinda and Nehemiah, again, real world Austin, partnered up with each other, and they are paired up with each other going into an elimination, what looks to be together. So that's why I think possibly this starts out with them playing in pairs, and then maybe dividing into teams, and then maybe dividing back into pairs, or maybe it's pairs the whole time, or like I mentioned, maybe it's like free agents where they're doing all different situations to where maybe if they paired up with each other and they get last, then they get sent into the elimination, or it's just going to be a men's and women's elimination every single time here. Then we have Sophia saying, you think your friends will come around and say, hey, here's my back, you want to put a knife in it, talking about her being backstabbed by players that she thought she could trust. And you have what looks to be a shocked Casey Cooper. Laterian looks distraught at an elimination. And now we have this elimination what looks to be Jody and Brad doing what looks to be possibly the homewrecker elimination from Battle of the Bloodlines. Now we saw earlier in this trailer that Jody and Brad were running a leg with each other as the white team with the white rope and the white armbands. Again, could they be in pairs and running together for a good part of this Challenge All-Stars? Possibly. Last season, All-Stars was majoritively a solo season, run more like a free agents format could this now be them putting them in pairings? Then you have Laterian, Jasmine, and Ryan. And then we have Jody here looking up saying, if I come in first, I know who I'm throwing in. Which now gets me to think that if this is run in pairs, are they bringing back the power couple? And again, thinking back to how this is like reminding me so much of War of the Worlds, when she's looking up, maybe she's in the line of fire. Maybe she's someone who is put up for possibly going into an elimination, and she's looking up because the tribunal or the power couple are sit high up, kind of like in War of the Worlds, where now she's having to look up going, okay, now if I'm going to be sent in, or if I get first, I know who I'm sending in. Does this mean that the power couple is going to have the ability to send in anybody that they want into an elimination? So my theory is that whoever comes in last in a daily challenge will be sent directly into an elimination, and whoever wins gets safety, and then they get to choose anybody as the power couple to send into an elimination. Get your game on! And then we have somebody who possibly is Melinda, who we saw in an elimination with Nehemiah getting very frustrated because she is being sent into an elimination, and we can see Janae consoling her as she's freaking out. Then we have text saying, it's about to get ugly, y'all. Let's go, which I'm excited for. Then we see Brad and Jody hugging it out, getting emotional, which I think could possibly be them from the earlier portion of this trailer where they were running with each other, and then maybe they come up short, which Brad and Jody partnered up with each other, I think would be a strong duo, but maybe they slip up. I mean, Paula and Evelyn were a powerhouse in Rivals, but they came in last in the first elimination, had to be sent into the elimination and won, and then went on a winning streak and was able to stay out of the eliminations for the rest of the time. So maybe Brad and Jody, who may have not worked with each other for a long time or have seen each other for a long time, aren't on the same wavelength at the beginning, mess up in the first challenge or the first few challenges, and then have to go into an elimination where they are in the home wrecker elimination and possibly have to win themselves back into the game. I think that is a strong possibility. Then we have Tina, Tech, and Jasmine. They're in the kitchen area, and Tina is looking frustrated. She is looking like she is out for vindication, for some revenge by slamming pots together. Maybe she watched Big Brother 19 and got some ideas from Josh. Go play! We see an eating challenge. Again, we have MJ and Janae. It looks like they're on the same team wearing the dark blue. I'm thinking that this is going to be a mini challenge right at the beginning of the challenge season, trying to give an idea of where everybody could lie and how well everyone does in the first mission. Maybe they do have to earn their spot. And we see this MJ shot with the water bottle, and again, he is wearing a black jersey. In the one previous with Janae, he is wearing a dark teal jersey. So could they be swapping teams? Could they be moving into teams once after being in pairs? But then we have MJ in a confessional saying, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into, but I'm effing ready, which you want to hear. And he looks like being in great shape. I'm excited to see what he can bring to this All-Stars Season 2. Get paid. Then we have what reminds me of that challenge from the first All-Stars where they had the jetting out staircase out of the giant truck, and you had to slam the basketballs home and go back and forth, back and forth. I wonder if this is sort of the same thing, except in a boat where they have to go out, retrieve some balls, come back up, dunk a ball by jumping off of the boat, and then having to go retrieve balls again. That would be very, very interesting. I wonder if that is Katie or possibly Leah having to do this. Maybe this is one water challenge that Katie wouldn't mind jumping off of a boat and dunking the basketball in. We can see what I believe is Melinda or Casey diving down to a treasure chest saying the grand prize is $500,000. That's life-changing money. Reminds me of grabbing the blocks from the water in the first All-Stars, from the first mission of the All-Stars. Then we have Darrell and Tyler working together, grabbing these giant puzzle pieces. As we can see in the next shot, everyone's building this giant puzzle board, and I think they're playing in two teams. That's where I think, okay, are they playing in two teams? Maybe this is free agents where they're changing off formats every other season, or maybe this is later on in the challenge season where they're then going from pairs to splitting off into teams. and they're having to work together to make this giant board to get to, once they finish it, the winning team gets to stay safe. We have Ryan and Jody working together on the same team, what looks to be this giant puzzle piece board. Then we have Casey saying, "You ain't seen nothing yet." Ayana jumping off from a very high place into the water. Tech slamming a ball home on that top of the boat where we just saw. And here is that fireball tic-tac-toe board. And possibly this is either Tina or Ayana doing this, and they accidentally drop the ball. And maybe that is a disqualification, maybe that is a penalty, or something happens where if you drop the ball, you can't retrieve it, and that puts them behind in the elimination. Then what looks to be the trivia challenge, where they're on top of a giant building. This isn't heights over water like the last trivia. This is them being yanked and then dropped like a bungee cord, which this is gonna get good. And we have Katie begging, saying, "Please, please, 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 please." She does not like heights over water, so I'm sure she doesn't like heights over a giant drop, like just heights in general on a building. And she is saying, "Please, please, please." And then somebody gets the answer wrong, which I think could be someone. I can't make out who this person is, but this player is yanked. And so TJ, if you get it wrong, hits the buzzer, gets yanked, and then is just dangling over just the ground. And I'm sure that is terrifying. And if we count how many players there are, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. We can see 8 players being held up by the harnesses, having to answer questions. And then we can count the players on the sidelines, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 8 players. So maybe this is the final 16 when they're doing the trivia challenge. And so that's very interesting. Very happy to see some trivia. Last season's trivia was amazing. So that's going to be very interesting. And then we get the logo for The Challenge All-Stars new season streaming November 11th. But that is it for The Challenge All-Stars Season 2 trailer. What'd you think about this trailer? Let me know that in the comment section below. Did this get you hyped for what's about to come on November 11th? Or are you going to be cautiously optimistic? Who are you rooting for? What was your favorite thing from the trailer? And is there something that I may have missed from the trailer? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge All-Star Season 2 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.